So, sir, now it is number is 102.
You
Elizabeth,
say
how many
start,
more,
I'll
ma?
start. Okay.
No, sir, there are little introduction and few things.
Yeah,
Then
done that.
only
No
we
issues
will
at all.
hand over the
You are
mic to
always
you.
welcome. Yeah, no problem. I'll wait on you. It's not an issue.
Shall we start, ma'am?
Yes, ma. So, if some more are joining, let them join little later. No problem. That's what we can only wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure, ma'am.
Start, ma. I have opened the opening screen. Shared.
Okay. Push your boundaries. That's what they are there for. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session. I'm Elizabeth Rani, pursuing my final year MCom at St. Teresa's Degree College for Women. I would like to stretch a warm welcome to PG Department of Commerce in association with IQAC organizes one-day national level online student development program on presentation skills. Thank you dear participants to be here and shows the interest towards our session. Prayer. Faith and prayer are the vitamins of the soul. Man cannot live in hell without them. So let's begin this day by remembering our Creator through invocation song by Naina of Familia Income. Over to you, Naina.
Thank you, Elizabeth. ಈ ಜಗಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ಬಾ ದೇವ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಕಿಲ್ಲ ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಬದುಕಿನ ಹಗಲಲ್ಲೇ ಬಾ ದೇವ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಗಲಲ್ಲೂ ಏಕಾಂತವೇ. ಹೊತ್ತು ಹೋಗದು ನೀ ಬರದೆ ಈ ಬಾಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಕತ್ತಲಾಗದು ಈ ಬದುಕು ನೀನಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ಜಗಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ಬಾ ದೇವ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಕಿಲ್ಲ ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದೆ. ನೀನಿರದ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನ್ಯಾರೋ, ಈ ಮನೆಯ ಹಂಗೆ ತಕೋ. ಮನೆಯೊಡೆಯ ಮನೆಯೊಳಗೆ ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದೆ, ಒಳಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹುಸಿ ಬದುಕು. ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನುಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದೆ, ಬಹಿರಂಗ ಚೆಲುವೆ ತಕೋ. ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನುಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದೆ, ಬಹಿರಂಗ ಚೆಲುವೆ ತಕೋ. ಆಕಾರ ನಾನು ಸಾಕಾರ ನೀನು, ನನ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನಾಗಿರೋ. ಈ ಜಗಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ಬಾ ದೇವ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಕಿಲ್ಲ ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಬದುಕಿನ ಹಗಲಲ್ಲೇ ಬಾ ದೇವ, ಈ ಹಗಲಲ್ಲೂ ಏಕಾಂತವೇ. ಹೊತ್ತು ಹೋಗದು ನೀ ಬರದೆ ಈ ಬಾಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಕತ್ತಲಾಗದು ಈ ಬದುಕು ನೀನಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈ ಜಗಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಕಾಗಿ ಬಾ ದೇವ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳಕಿಲ್ಲ ನೀನಿಲ್ಲದೆ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, Naina, for bringing God's blessings amidst us. Sunshine is a welcome thing. It brings a lot of brightness. With these quotes, I request Samrin Sultana of Final Year MCOM to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Elizabeth. If you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. Good evening to one and all. I am Samrin Sultana, pursuing final year MCOM in St. Teresa's Degree College for Women. I'm here to welcome you all to this program on presentation skills. First and foremost, I would like to welcome our principal, Dr. Sister Prema, to this program in her absence. A warm welcome to you, Dr. Sister. I now like to welcome our Vice Principal, Mrs. Malika Ma'am, IQAC Director, in her absence, who supports and guides us all the time. A quarterly welcome to you, ma'am. I extend my heartfelt welcome to today's resource person, Professor Parmeshwaran. Sir is an inspiring and motivating personality. Sir, we are waiting to hear a lot from you. Welcome to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to welcome our PG coordinator, Mrs. Navyashri ma'am, and our program organizer, Mrs. Kaveri ma'am, who took her core interest in conducting the workshop. A joyful welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma.
I extend a warm welcome to all the faculties and students coordinators of St. Teresa's Degree College for Women. A quarterly welcome to you all. Last but not the least, I would like to welcome all the participants who is highly interested to learn a lot from this workshop. A warm welcome to you all. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Samreen, for the pleasant welcome. Leaders becomes great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. With this quote, I request my co-mate Kumari of final year MCOM for guest introduction. Over to you, Kumari.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good afternoon to all present here. I'm Kumari, you pursuing my MCOM in St. Teresa's Degree College for Women. So, today it gives me an immense opportunity to introduce the speaker of the day, Professor R. Parameshwaran sir, who has qualified BSc from Mysore University, B.Pharm from Bangalore University, Diploma in Business Administration, MBA in Marketing Management from Annamalai University of Tamil Nadu, Certified of Marketing Management from British Institute, Mumbai, Diploma in Social Science and Administration from Pune University. Sir has also has a immense and most experience in the exposure in the field of pharmaceutical, and sir has for a period of time, sir.
You're muted, Kumari.
Sorry for the inconvenience. So, sir has exposure in many fields. So, here, sir has been served as a consultant pharmacist in pharmacy, which is in human. Sir conducted product training program for Recon Laboratories and Astream and Simcon, and sir has been a guest faculty in JSS College of Pharmacy, Dayanand Sahar College of Pharmacy, Lakshmi Nursing College for various subjects related to pharmacological, biochemistry, clinical pathology, pharmacy marketing. Sir also taken MBA classes in Annamalai University for various subjects of business, communication, strategic management, international marketing, and general marketing. Sir has also taught international marketing, marketing management, and aligned subject of marketing for business executive at Vasavi Institute of Management. Sir has also published various papers in marketing and human resource management. Sir has also trained colleagues of British Biological on communication, product presentation, handling objection, and other related matters concerned to sales. Presently, Sir is serving as a faculty at Nargut College of Pharmacy and visiting faculty at Apurva Institute of Management and Hillside Institute of Management, Bangalore. So overall, I could say that we are here to listen more and lot and learn and enhance our knowledge in related to presentation skills, sir. So over to you.
Thank you, Kumari, for the guest introduction. Excellence is not being at best, it is doing your best. I request our speaker, Professor R. Parameshwaran sir, to take over the session.
So, good evening, everybody. Thank you very
Excellent,
much
sir.
for the encomiums you have bestowed on me on the day. Of course, when I have been talking on it about the presentation, I have just made it myself rather to be with you for about 1 hour. That is about 50 minutes I'll be just talking to you, or sometimes I may just go a little bit more. So that please remember it, I have just divided the topics into two. One is the presentation. The other I would love to talk to you more than the presentation is one, and also the effective presentation skills and also the PowerPoint presentation, how you could able to do it. And all of you know very well, respected friends, and of course before that I am being deprived of the absence of the great laureates, the principal and the vice principal. But I am glad that the coordinator is here, and of course my close friend Mrs. Kaveri is also with me, and nice to be amidst the youngsters who is always raring to go to learn more and much more. So I have been, as I told you, I have been divided into two. One is on the presentation, the other is the power presentation techniques. So coming back to you, perhaps a small statistical observation reveals more than 400 million people uses PowerPoint in the world as on today. And of course, of which that means to say that 1 million people present the PowerPoints per hour. And perhaps, if I'm sorry to inform you, most of them are unbearable. Most of them are unbearable. Why? Mainly because the presentation of a PowerPoint is not the be all or end all in your expressions. Of course, it is the presenter who is very much important. How he presents himself, how he conducts himself, how he does the job is more important. That's why there is a proverb in English. It is not the where is important, it is the whereer it is always important. And in the talk we have been just made from all the three respected friends a few minutes back, unless you don't have an attitude to learn or you don't have aptitude to excel, you can't able to do anything. As he said, you can't stop the person who wish to learn or an attitude to learn, or you can't make a person who don't want to learn. So these are the big differences is always make it. So come back to my presentation topic. I am of the opinion presentation is very much important in all ways of communication. Unless the presentation is not adequately communicated, the entire industry or the entire thing will go pell-mell. Pell-mell means go into the confusion. They can't able to do the job in a right, earnest way. So I have been the opinion, a good presentation, please note that a good presentation is a reflection on you and your work. And of course, you want to make the best possible impression in the short amount of time given to you. That is to say that according to the statistical information, the first 4 minutes will make a person's presentation either make it or mar it, either appreciate it or totally condemn it. So this is exactly about the presentation is concerned. When you talk about the presentation, there are so many guiding principles are there in case of presentation is concerned. When you have been making the presentation skill, what do you want to do it? See, for example, when you have been using, in the case of a presentation, when you have been using, that is to say that, as I told you in the beginning itself, a presentation is a means of communication. What is presentation? Presentation is a means of communication which can be adopted to various speaking situations, such as talking to a group, addressing a meeting, or briefing a team, or even training management. Unless you have been not good enough in your expression, I am sure the entire story is lost. How can you get a good expression? The good expression can be always learned by your information you have. That is reason why I am just telling you, unless you are not good at the area Unless you are not good at the area of your knowledge, you can't able to express. I wish to quote a small proverb from one of the greatest one, Bernard Shaw. He's always say that expression with a person with an empty mind, he can't able to express. So what I want to just say that whenever you want to go for a presentation, please make sure number one, please remember it, you always make such a way, you make it very, very simple as far as a concern. Please remember the simple words you always speak up, the simple way you answer the queries, the simple way you just narrate the story is very, very important is concerned. So when we just look into this preamble effect, you can always, by this time you have already guessed, because most of the postgraduates are there, along with the graduate friends are also there. Please remember it. What are the aspects of it? Before you go for presentation, I am of the strong view and opinion that the persons who has been called as a presenter, first of all, he should know about his audience, that we call in the language of business communication as the matrix. What do you mean by the audience? Why you should know the audience, or the biggest question mark, it always lurking large in your mind. If you know about the audience, we can able to tailor our expression, tailor the content, tailor the expression way we always do it. It all depends upon. So you should know whether the audience nature, the audience qualification, the audience profession, the audience need and want. So unless their needs and wants are not well read, just coming and talking something, it will become gibberish. That is to say that you speak, sir, you spoke so well, sir, but I'm sorry I could not follow anything. So please remember it, always when you have been presenting it, tailor your expression to the customer need or the consumer need or the audience need. It's a very, very simple logic of selling a product. So when I have been talking on a product, what is a product? You buy a product which is going to satisfy your needs and wants. It is so simple. So please remember it. Anything you want to express, anything you want to present it, the number one is preparation. And the goal. What is your goal today? Today's goal, Mr. Param's goal is himself to talk on two divisions of the presentation. One is on the question of the presentation. The other is on the presentation of the PowerPoint skills. Many a times the people gets themselves confused, or the idea will be getting overlapped with the presentation and PPT presentation. Please, to my best of my understanding, PPT is only a guiding force. It is not the expression. I hope, well, unfortunately, we have been in the virtual world. I can't able to know your body language. So, however, please do understand me. PPT is only a tool. It is not the, it is not the content. So please remember it. Whenever you have been using one, there are many people have got a habit. I will come back to you when I have been talking about the present PowerPoint one. They got a habit of reading the PowerPoint. When you read the PowerPoint, why the hell are you there to tell me? That is the reason why, my dear friends, that in the area of the virtual expression, in the case of the virtual world, in the case of international world, the people are not just very keen on to go to a college or to school. They want to learn as a virtual learning. It is a big issue. It is a big issue. Whether the professor is incompetent or the pupil are expecting more than this to the professor. As a saying in English is there, it is not the container is important, it is the content is important. You agree with me? The content you take it is not the container you use it. So please remember it, the first and the foremost is preparation. In the case of presentation, the preparation is on the three triangles. Number one, what are the key points you want to make? In the beginning of the expression, I have just made it two things. I don't know whether you observed it or not. I have made my time limit frame and I talked about the two topics I am going to say that. So that I have been very much assured. I have got a framework in my mind that I have only prepared for this two. Beyond this, if you want to talk it, perhaps I may talk, but not to your satisfaction. So please remember it, my dear friends, that the preparation is a very, very important tool in any presentation, in any communication, in any way of your life, any goal of your life, in anything you do or you don't want to do. So please remember it. What are the key points you want to talk on the day? Because I have been talking mostly from the world of the academic institutes and a few here and there that which I am not very sure of it. So that I should just make a small blend of the other people's needs and wants and the more points, needs and points of my students. So this is what, and moreover, who are my audience? I already told you who are my audience, what are they interested having, how familiar are they with your topic, do they expect data or concepts? Very important. You like to know only the data revelation or you want to know the concept of presentation. Unless you don't know what they want, and I can't able to sell my product because I am not catering to your satisfaction. It is so simple. It is so great. So please remember it. Preparation is a primary requirement of anything in life, especially when you have been presenting certain things in the organization or in the training management or even you are writing the answer with the question marks. So and please remember, a presentation is different. I would love to quote, a presentation is different than a paper. Don't try to cover everything. In presentation, we can't cover everything. Is it possible to cover everything in a presentation? It's not possible because there is a limitation of time. There is a limitation of the what you call as the patience of the audience. All those things are always important. So when you look into the presentation, different people, there are so many ways there. In the case of presentation, as I told you in the earlier expression, that presentation needs the clarity. Unless you don't deliver the expressions in a clear-cut way, unless you don't talk to them in a way where we can able to reach the audience mind and audience requirement, I think I am not at all good in my presentation. That is the reason why, please remember it, expression is the hallmark of any presentation is concerned. Number two, please remember it, the pace of delivery. What do you PSE? Pace means what? Pace means the speed at which you. If I show that I know this language very well, so I can able to deliver my dialogue in a faster way, if it is not going to be useful to you, is it of any sense? That is the reason why, friends, pace is always important, because when some of you have been very good in presenting my introduction or a prayer or whatever it is, you look into the prayer. The student who presented the prayer on the Lord, her pace was so much that giving a right pace, right way of talking, right way of singing, that is called as a harmony. Unless that harmonious blend of pace, harmonious blend of voice modulation, harmonious blend of rhythm and clarity of mind, knowing what she is doing it up, it cannot be a presentation. It would have been, it would have been a noise. So in the same way, and so many people have been introduced to me, she welcomed you, all those things, they know what their goal is, what their job is. That is the reason why that you should have the preparation earlier. I am very sure how many times they should have rehearsed, how many times you have rehearsed, and please remember it, the preparation is a major one, and the goal of any presentation is preparation. Number two, everybody will have their own style, because fortunately I have been just masked by the virtual world. You can only see my face. You don't know my body language. So the body language, the style of expression, some people will talk in such a way that you can't able to understand. It is only the style wish. And even in your body language, if you exaggerate, if it is excess than the required, I am sure nobody likes it. Because please understand, if anybody goes on showing lots of phases, lots of expression, lots of body language, which is not relevant and required, is it possible for you? Will you enjoy it? You will not about it. Please remember it. Whenever you have been presenting to it, when you have been presenting things, you should have a good eye contact. Here I can't have an eye contact, mainly because we have been in the virtual expression. So the eye contact is in. Please remember it. My professor used to tell me, the eye is such a beautiful camera. You can always move the audience head wherever you used to see them. There is reason why, just to give a small anecdote, let me just tell you, when a person who is, in the case of snake, when he moves his body like that, it is not the music that is attracting to king cobra, it is a movement of a person. So please remember it, it is always important to move on. Some people will be static. They just stand like a statue and they present it. Such presentation will not earn a good name. And moreover, it will be boredom. He's just standing like a statue and expressing it. It becomes a monologue. Any presentation, unless there is no dialogue, because time is a constraint, sorry for it, I have to get into the monologue position, because unless there is no dialogue, there is no interface, there is no interaction, there is no in-between communication, not only through the body language, but even in case of oral expression, your presentation is zero. So that's what I said. Then more the pitch. As I just gave a small example of a singer now, unless there is different pitch is not used, what you call as the voice modulation. The voice modulation plays a major role in case of what you call as in case of presentation is concerned. You have to always, please remember it, avoid annoying habits. What do you mean by annoying habits? Annoying means what? Annoying means one which always irritates a person is called as annoying. If you have, some people will have a peculiar mannerisms that is so ugly that you don't like at all. So this annoying mannerisms should be always one. Some people while talking it, they make a different signs when they have been changing the different pitch of it. Please remember it that such type of mannerism, good manners is required, but bad mannerism is not required. So whenever you have been present, the self-appeal, the dress, your appearance, how you talk, etc., is a very, very important tool when it is always there. So let me just tell you the one more interesting point too in the case of presentation skill is unless you don't prepare, you can't able to deliver the goods. Do you agree with me? I hope you have to agree with me, because you have all come here with a good preparation to understand what I have been talking to you. So the preparation plays a major role, and when you have been do a preparation, it needs lot of practice. Unless you don't practice certain preparations, it will be a zero. There is a proverb in English, practice make a person perfect. So unless there is no practice, it is not possible to do it. That's why even in case of Shakespearean dramas, to draw from the English literature, he says it, practice thou that make you perfect. That is what you say. So unless you don't practice, unless you prepare, unless you practice what to talk and what not to talk, and there's a reason why when you have been talking to the people, when you have been rehearsing, etc., we request, see yourself in a manner, whether you like your way of style or your mannerisms, you always do it. So remember, practice is very, very important. When you just, only after that, you have to come and do your presentation. If you don't practice, if you are not doing the practice well, if you don't prepare well, you will be always cut a sorry figure in front of your friends. So please remember it, whenever a presentation is made, it has got, I told you how to prepare. In the case of a preparation is concerned, please understand my request. When you are preparing, what are the facts you have to look into in the case of what you call as the preparation? The preparation needs planning. Perhaps you may be knowing it. Mrs. Kaveri planned at least 10 days before what she expects from you, to whom the good speakers or speakers she likes to have, who all will come. She would have had 3 or 4, because unless she doesn't plan, she can't able to do it. Number 2, when she was planning, or when I have been planning to talk to you, at least 5 days before she told me, I have to look into my audience. Who are my audience? Why are they there? Why have come here? Have you come here to spend your time? No. You have got a purpose, you have got a goal, that is the reason why you have come. So that please remember, when I planning, I should always look, what is my goal? My goal is to say that how best I can able to reach my presentation to all of you. And more important, many a times it happens, time. You might have heard, there are lots of speakers will come. For every time he'll be saying, I'll be finishing my talk within 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, he will just go on dragging you for hours. Is it bearable, please? It's unbearable. It's not possible. It happens many a times. The speaker should know the time on. There, please, there it is very, very important, your PowerPoint presentation. Because PowerPoints will always indicate you the time. If the PowerPoint is over, it's normally made for 10 to 15 minutes. Depends upon the topic. The speaker speaks, the PowerPoint ends. That is an alarm bell requesting the speaker, sir, look here, the job is done. Thank you very much. So please remember it. That's very, very important. Moreover, you should also know, please, you should also know well that when you have been presenting it, the location, to where is the location? Is it the pharmaceutical company? Is it a club? Is it an academic school or an academic institution like Teresa's? Or is it something else? It's a social gathering. All those we should know who are the people. So come back again, when you have prepared, please remember it to keep the following points in your mind. That is the structure. The points which I have noted is, one is the structure of your presentation, the promptness of your presentation, the visual aids of your presentation, and your voice and voice modulation, and where you have to pause, where you should not pause, how to give pause, how to take the feedback from then and there by observation of your body language and my body language, synchrony and symphony. The final is how you appear in front of the audience. That is, appearance means, please remember it, it is not you should be handsome or beautiful. The appearance is one, it should have an aesthetic taste. You know what is aestheticism? Aesthetic taste is, it should be liked by one and all. See, I am giving a small example. I think I will just give a small example. Please remember that when you go for an interview, or when you go for somewhere else, when you go for a function, etc., you have to dress for the occasion. It doesn't mean that you should excessively made up or excessively dressed with a gaudy color, because it will repel a person. If you have been aesthetic sense is the one, it is attractive, it is not repulsive, it is pleasurable, it is not painful, it is persisting, it is not what you call as, it is not rejecting. So this way, dressing should be such that it should be so pleasant, pleasing, dignified, decent, and amazing. So these are the one I would love to tell it. And I told you, whenever you have been presenting to it, there is nothing wrong to have a questionnaire. When you have been doing, when you talk about the questionnaire, see, unfortunately, because there's a time frame and time limit is always there, the question and answer sessions are always kept at the end. Could you get me? At the end, not at the beginning, because it will interfere the flow of the thoughts of the expression of the presenter. Number two, whenever a question is asked, there are every chances for a question, it gets diversified, it will not to the point. Finally, it is only the question and answer session, and the purpose of the presenter and the present and the organizer will always get defeated. That is reason why, my dear friends, though in the class we can always question, because we can get back. It is an informal session, we can always get back. But in case of the formal session, question and answer in the middle is always difficult. That is the reason why whenever there is a presentation, the question and answer of 5 minutes or 10 minutes which has been kept is always keep it aloof. After once you have already done it, please remember, next is the structure. The structure of your presentation is very, very important. As I told you in the beginning, what is your objective? My objective is this, sir, how I have to do it. Please remember it, whether it is a oral communication or whether it is a written communication or it is a presentation communication, the first 3 to 4 minutes are the important time for any presenter is concerned. Because she was telling me more than 100 people were there at the time when I started beginning. Some people might have been come down or some people might have joined extra. So apart from that, please remember here, friends, when there are 200 eyes are watching me, please remember it, I should always have the impression in such a way, I should make it in a right way. Opening sentences in any communication or any classes or any introduction or any interview is a very, very important. There you are the presenter. The presentation, don't be under the impression when you talk on presentation, don't take the literal sense. It is not only the presenting the subject, it is the presentation in the overall communication in your day-to-day life. So please remember it, my dear friends, that when you have been presenting things, please remember it, the first 3 to 5 minutes are the golden time. If you cannot able to reach your people who are your audience within that time, that is to say that you are lost the way. I don't know whether I lost my way or not. Anyway, I have been just talking to it. So please remember it later on. When you have been presenting it, I told you in the beginning itself, the content of the expression, the content is very, very important. Then at the end, we can always will have a summary, a conclusion, and recommendations. So when you have been talking to a structure, structure is structured in three ways. The structure contains introduction. Introduction is concerned to draw the arrest of the attention of the what you call as the audience. Have you heard, I think MCOM graduates, MBA graduates, and the graduates, all your professors would have already told you in that, we always follow in case of presentation, AIDA principle, AIDA. What is AIDA principle? AIDA principle is a four-letter word. A stands for arresting the attention. A stands for arresting the attention of the audience. I for creating an interest in your expression. D for we always talk to you that the decision making of the audience, and the 4 is put the audience into action or to assimilate the point he talks it. So please, introduction is very, very important. In introduction, when I have been talking to it, some people have got the idea of what they tell about the content. As I told you, I have got 2 phases. One is on the presentation, the second is on the PowerPoint projection. So please remember, the main theme is always important. And of course, as I told you, the summary and conclusion is the last phase. So these are the 3 important stages or steps which are very important in case of the presentation is concerned. And come back. When you have been presenting to us, please remember it, or as I told you, when you have been got a tool of presentation, you got lots of points. You want to express lots of points on 2 reasons. One is you want to give more points to your audience in a shortest point of time. The second is you will be expressing yourself how much I could able to help you out. These are the 2 things. One is the selfish interest. The other is the educative interest. These are the 2 components on any presentation is done. At the time, you can't able to write every points. So that is the reason why, my dear friends, they always get into the short bullet forms. The short bullet forms, when you write it, don't write in paragraph after paragraph. Bullet means what? Hit at the bullseye. Hitting at the bullseye, that is why we have been calling as a bullet. So in the case of bullet points are the one where we only use keywords. For example, I have made in my which I have been going through it, which I have been going through the slides are concerned, where I have made a bullet points telling it prompt, P-R-O-M-T. When I talk on prompt point, I made 3 points, short bullet points, put your promptness in the PowerPoint, and these are for us. I had only 2. One is what are bullet points, how I should express myself. These are the 2 bullet points I've done, and depends upon how much you have prepared. I told you preparation is very, very important. Unless you don't prepare, we can't able to express yourself. Depends upon that material, you always talk about the points, then only you can able to expand it. Epitomize the points, the bullet form, expand with your knowledge or expand with your preparation what you have learned from that. And sometimes we always use it in the case of presentation, some visual aids. Again, I told you, visual aids are nothing but the area of the AIDA principle. It contains it has got a very, very simple fonts, simple colors, and graphs. These are the 3 things normally we use when you have been just using our presentation. You have got what you use images or the clipart. The images are used. For example, you want to say don't touch, you show a red color or something like that. And moreover, please remember it, when you have been using bullet points, I told you, never ever use more than 3 to 7 bullets per slide. I have the opinion that 5 is only enough, 3 is the best. So that the presenter can able to reach out well, because he has to see the PowerPoint there and he has to always look into the audience so that he can able to always galvanize the audience attention towards the presentation. So that is the reason why I am just telling you, don't overcrowd your slides, come what may. And please remember, be professional in your expressions. Because many a times they come with something, they go on talking something which is not relevant to the point. So always hit at the bullseye or hit at the nail's head. Don't unnecessarily go on changing or verifying with unwanted facts, unwanted figures, unwanted stories. That is the presentation, because time is a constraining factor. Please understand here, it is a time. You always value the time, not only the value, not my time, it's your time. I have been taking your time, not my time. I can able to talk for hours because I don't have any job. But you are very, very important for me. Audience are very important to me because unless I don't keep up my time, your interest keeping gradually getting diluted. From the listening, you startly moving towards hearing. From hearing, you gradually you switch off. So please remember, it's very, very important. Please remember it. You should always have such one. It should have make your what you call audience to get into the wake up. See, see, because when I have been talking, there is a mental fatigue for some maybe there because the forbearance of the brain can absorb, the brain can able to absorb only to some extent. Yes, please. Hello. Yeah. May I proceed, please?
Audience, kindly
Hello.
mute your mobile.
So shall I proceed
Yes,
further?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So coming back, my dear friends, that unless and until you are not do that, it becomes very difficult. And also I told you the volume of your words. If you shout in a mic, what do you do? Instead of you should have not a cotton bud, you should have a handkerchief into your eyes. So please remember it. Make your voice audible. The voice should be a voice. It should not be a noise. And moreover, wherever and over the emphasis required, you emphasize. Don't emphasize everything and anything what you know about it. And before I just do it, whenever you have been just going to the presentation, please make your presentation, please make it presentation as simple as one. Perhaps the communication professor or some of you might have already read talking about the KISS principle, KISS. KISS principle is all about it. Keep your presentation straight and simple. That is the reason, my dear friends, to talk it in a simple language is very, very difficult and talking in a flowery expression. That is the reason why even in the literature, R.K. Narayan is much appreciated. Ananta Rao is much appreciated than about the Aldous Huxley. I'm sorry, about just talk about Hardy. The very reason is writing a simple English is a tedious task than writing with a complicated task. And whenever you have been presenting, I should tell you without doubt about it, they use sometimes the words which will give not a right one. I'll give a small example and you just tell me. A very fine gentleman, a product manager, was coming and telling an American manager, sir, our product which I launched, it is bombed in the market. See, bombing in the market in an English style, that means the product was a big success. My product bombed in the market means my product really was victorious, a blockbuster. But according to the other man who listened to it, according to his perception, the product failed. So in that way, you have to know whenever you have been expressing. I told you the audience metrics depends upon their culture, depends upon their interest, depends upon their feelings, depends upon their beliefs, morals, the values, their ideas, their ethos, the social structure. All those things should be taken into the consideration when you have been framing a sentence. Then only your presentation will be of value and respect. Otherwise, I spoke, you heard. So that should not be there. So that is the reason why, please remember it, make it any presentation, keep it straight and simple. And moreover, when you have, let us have a beautiful way of the clarity. That's why my professor used to say that the clarity is the hallmark of expression. When you have been talking anything in the presentation, it should be always brevity with clarity. Please quote, brevity with clarity is the hallmark of expression. You be brief, but you be clear. Then only your expression is there. And in some of the communication books it is done, they just say that it should be like a bikini which is seductive, that is, it's attractive, but it covers the. So when you have been talking an expression, you have to talk in such a way that it should be very, very attractive to express, should be as brief as possible, as clear as possible, but it should cover the entire range of things. So that should be the hallmark of it. Please remember it. Then always remember it. Whenever you have been presented, present to the point which you always want. And already I talked about your expressions and the body language. I don't want to repeat and re-repeat and take your time as well as mine. And please remember it. Please do the following when you have been presenting it. Always illustrate your key messages. For example, a famous relevant question. Always repeat your key messages and always use it. Personal stories if necessary, if time permits, if it is relevant. And number 3, involve your audience. I should involve you. Unfortunately, I can't involve you here because we have been in a what you call as the world of distance. It is only the virtual world, it is an internet world. So always involve it. So ask them such a questions. You know very well, there are 4 types of questioning. One is the question approach. The second is a close-ended approach. The third is a choice approach. So unless and until you use these 3 approaches in a right, judicious way, you can always win the race. Otherwise, you always lose the race. And the 4th, be aware when your audience, are you facing all of them? That is about the speaker. The speaker should say that there are some speakers, I don't know whether you have noted or not, there are some people who will be always seeing only certain set of people. It's a very bad trend because the other people, either they feel they have been neglected or they feel this man is not interested. The people who have been only seeing it, this man is only staring at us. The looking at the people will be connoted as staring at the people. Remember, the audience is on your side, and please remember it. The most important for you is, kindly remember it, practice, practice, and practice. You should not do all that. There is, let us see that you have got a PowerPoint. If you go and turn back and go on reading script by script, what you feel? I need not touch you. Please remember it, never get overboard. See, when you have been talking, sometimes some of the presenters, they will become more. For example, when you have been talking on certain points, on certain concept, when you have been talking over it, they will become overboard or become emotional. That is the reason why, my dear friends, when you have been a teacher, when you are a presenter, when you have been a counselor, when you have been doing certain things in the college, academician, never ever involve yourself in the emotional quotient. If your EQ becomes high, emotional quotient becomes very high, definitely you go ahead of nothing. You say that you have been very finely expressed, but if your emotion goes beyond certain limit, it becomes a messy scene. So never ever become emotional. That is the reason why, friends, in the present day skill, whether it is a M.Pharm graduate or a B.Com graduate or whomsoever it is, we always tell them, your EQ is good. The IQ is very important, but EQ should be judiciously blend. And before I just get into the next topic, I think another 7 minutes are there, Kaveri? How many? 10 minutes are there, correct? Madam, another 10 minutes are there?
Yeah, it's there, sir.
Hello?
Another 20 minutes are there.
It's even the. Thank you. So whenever you have been talking, that's the reason why, ma'am. Whenever you have been just picking up a person, a good presenter, a good communicator, we always evaluate his IQ skills and EQ skills. IQ is intelligent quotient, EQ is emotional quotient. You should be analytically, you should be very, very strong, which is taken care by the left lobe. And the creativity is also important, and your emotion is equally important. It is called as the right lobe. That is the reason why, friends, always remember it. When you have been getting a presentation skill, 4 points you please remember. These 4 points is your first of all is your preparation. The second point I have been telling you, planning, and the third point your goal of talking, and the fifth point, which I already told you, you should be always have got the consistent content of it. You should not diversify, you should not go berserk, you should not go elsewhere when you have been talking the things. So please remember it, the content is very important, the concept is very important, and more than that, you should always be in a touch with the people whom what you have been talking. That is the reason why I started with the word, a presentation is not a PowerPoint, you are the presentation. Unless you are not the presentation, all your presentation will go to drains. So this is the first topic which I made it in the beginning, I told you. And coming back, it is a rigmarole. All of you know about it. You have studied a lot about it. Still, what I have done, a small idea about the points to be taken care about the PowerPoint presentation guidelines. In the case of the PowerPoint presentation guidelines, especially people who are doing their post-graduation or an MBA students, please remember it, your PowerPoint slide should be always, should highlight the key points, or reinforce what the facilitator is saying. I am the facilitator. I should reinforce in my PowerPoint. Number two, I should be short. You know very well, this principle should be always followed. In order to your presentation, it should be fixed. 95% of your PowerPoint slide should have the text, and another 5% should be in your rather giving the caricatures, etc. In the case of 95% means it is not the number of letters. Please, it is not the number of writing you do it, the number of important points you have jotted. I told you in my presentation, the best is 5 bullets. Maximum 7 bullets. Never ever write more than 7 bullets or 7 points in your one is concerned. And Professor Kaveri would have already told you, in a case of a PowerPoint layout, a layout is certainly a frame where it conveys completeness. Your layout should always create a sense of completeness, please, a sense of completeness. Unless the one which is not completed, I think it's half completed, you are not be satisfied is concerned. And thirdly, the headings and also subheadings and other logos should show up the same spot on each frame. See, there is a fancy for somebody. They'll be giving the different type of what you call as the caricatures or some of the things they always give it. They give you a different type of cartoons. This is not right, because the question, you have been discussing a consistent concept or a consistent presentation. If you go on writing the different type of what you call the logos on the margin of it, the people cannot able to concentrate what you have written on the slide. They'll be always observing the different logos that you have been done it. They'll be appreciating more about your creative skill, not your descriptive skill. The creativity you have done fine, it is well appreciated, but what you have been talking, your descriptive skill, that is the reason why in case of survey you say descriptive survey, explorative survey, etc. I don't want to talk over it. So all those, the descriptive information is more important than that of what you have been just shown in the figures and the diagrams. And third, please remember the margins, the fonts, the font size and colors should be such that it should be readable. It should be readable. Unless, even I tell you, the lines you put, the boxes you put, please try your best to maintain the standardization. Never use different type of boxes, different type of lines, different type of fonts in different area of the slides are concerned. When it's coming into the question of fonts, I'm sure that all of you are aware what you mean by the font. The font style should be readable. You are not showing your creative art. You have been making the presentation or making the PowerPoint to see the audience should understand it. So for which, I would love to recommend it. Please remember it. There are 3 fonts are there. I don't know any other fonts are there. Number 1 is, there is a font called Arial font. There is a font called as a Tahoma fonts. There is a one called as a Veranda fonts. These are the 3 fonts which is most likely be appreciated because it is readable. It is well readable, and moreover, the standardized font for front side is the presentation is Tahoma. Tahoma is the one of the best. I am sure that professors who have been with me now, they will agree with me that Tahoma fonts are always recommended in the case of the presentation is concerned. When again, this is a good title size, or you can always use Verdana 40-point font. It is a good subtitle or a bullet point size. 32-point Verdana is much more ideal when you have been presenting a PowerPoint projection. And finally, when it's coming into the area of the size of the point, I don't want to make it too much. Combining small font sizes with the
Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Sir,
So
we
your
are
mic
unable to
is
hear
mute.
you.
We are unable to hear you, sir.
Sir, 1 second. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Sir, your mic is muted.
1 minute ma. Oh God. I'm not able to unmute him. Somebody else just try. Elizabeth,
Yeah.
if you can
Is
try.
okay now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, I am muted.
Sir,
Can you hear me?
now, yes sir,
Yes,
now
sir.
only we
I
are able
think-
to hear you.
Yeah. So where you start unheard me? Any idea about the font size?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Girl, kindly tell him.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Talk about font size.
Okay. The combining, please remember, the combining small font sizes with bold or italics is not recommended. Did you get me the point? Because you are using a small letter. Suddenly you use what you call as the bold letter. Then comes to the italics. It will have what you call as psychedelic effect. Have you heard of the psychedelic effect? Psychedelic effect is such, it will give an illusionary effect. You can't be able to understand anything. So please always remember it, not to mix up italics and small letter with the bold letter. Better, I wish to say that please always use the fonts of the same size. I told you for the subheading, the 40 font size of Verdana is much more ideal than go on showing your artistry in the case of fonts are concerned. Don't sacrifice readability. Put it in a nutshell, never sacrifice your readability for the sake of your style. The style is there, but never ever see that you always do it. And one more, please, I just said, please remember it, never always, do not use all as capital letters. Because there is a fancy for some, because make to read better, you always use the capital letters. In a PowerPoint production, never ever don't that. And please don't use acronyms. What do you mean by acronyms? Synonyms and acronyms, I've heard of it in English literature. So never use acronyms in the case of one. And also remember this, please remember it. And if you are using certain English words, please always see that technically is okay. See, for example, if you are a student of medical literature, I do agree with that. Technical words are concerned. And if you are a student of what you call as the ordinary citizen, I can't just say, for example, you're all student of BCom, MCom, and MBA students. When you are there, I can use it always ask for compensation. When I talk to a MCom graduate or when I talk to a BCom graduate, when I say that ask for what you call compensation, you can understand. But a common man can understand the compensation. Sir, I am not, neither I am lame nor I am deaf. Why should I ask for compensation? They don't know compensation means salary. So such words depend. That's the reason why I already told you the audience are the most important people for us. And moreover, whenever you have been using a template, in the case of a presentation, you always see that the color is very, very important. You want the audience to focus on what you present, not the way you present. They should see here, please remember it, the audience should fix what you present, not the way you have presented. So never use the color which is always quite hazy. Never do it. And please remember it, the changing the style is always distracting. And it's coming into the color. There is always, please remember it. These are the one which I have just could able to do it. Never use the color which cannot able to focus your letters. For example, the greens, blues are mellower, but not as attention grabbing. The green is good color. Blue is a wonderful color, but it never grabs your attention. It will never arrest your attention. And third is green can be difficult to see for those who are colorblind. You know what is a color blindness? The color blindness in the medical dictionary we call by name as what? These people are the color blindness, they can't able to see certain colors. So this is a color which colorblind people cannot able to see. We don't know in the audience who are all have got a problem of color blindness. We don't know. So please never use always, because the color blindness cannot do it. Avoid these combination. For example, please avoid green on blue. Please avoid the green on blue. Dark yellow or green, no. And orange on green, no. Red on green, no. These are the important things when you have been doing a PowerPoint presentation. And please remember, the slides should be in such a way, you should always think that dark slides with light color is good. And moreover, the background, in a open theater, white background with a black color is okay, but black is very tough. Whereas we've got a black background with a white color is always more ideal than anything else. So when you have been picking up the color one, please remember it, always do it. So coming back to the graphics, because you know very well, when you have been just doing certain graphic ideas, say for example, sales presentation, on or your statistical data or your conclusions or your talk, etc. When you have been doing it, never ever cluster the graph. There is a tendency for the people to combine. Say I am talking about the pharmaceutical industry or a marketing industry. You want to compare the sales of the 5 products in different areas of the country. If you crowd all those things in the same graph, is it possible for you to understand? Please understand this. For example, the air conditioner sold in south, the air conditioner sold in north, west, etc. Then they were whatever geyser sold east, west, north. If you go on putting everything, if you're putting everything in the same graph, it is very, very difficult to understand. Even when you have been, I think Kaveri will agree with me, she was doing her PhD. So when you really look into that, whenever you have been writing a graph, please understand it. The graph should have the clarity of right comparison. You make 3 graphs, nothing wrong. At the final, you just give the conclusion. All the 3 graphs gives an idea that these are the points. If you crowd all the graphs at the same time, it is only just, it becomes such a hopeless that you can't able to do the things. And again, when you have been doing an illustration, use only when needed. In a PowerPoint, when you have been using any illustration, otherwise you just talk. Don't write it in a graph. Don't put it in a graph. It becomes disastrous. And ask yourself if it makes the message clearer. When you have been looking into it, see, you know the empathizing. Do you know what is the meaning of empathizing, please? Do you know what you mean by empathizing? Empathy is one, you are putting your feet on other man's shoes. Then you have been experiencing. Before you go for a presentation, first of all, realize, understand whether you have been in the other side of the witness box and observe whether does it reach me or not. So please remember it. It is very, very important. Whenever you have been preparing it, first of all, you be audience, then only you become a presenter. If you do it, you know where you went wrong. And please remember, again and again I am telling you, kindly remember it. The points to be remembered. Keep brief. Use the same background for each slide. Use dark slides with light color. Please note it. Use dark slides with light colored text in large hall. Very important. Because it depends upon the dimension of the hall also. It depends upon the dimension of the hall. And also please use short bulleted statements and avoid typing out of your whole presentation in a slide. Don't write a textbook in your slide. Please never use textbook in a slide. So how can you able to do that? How can you do this? How you can able to avoid not to write a textbook on a slide? It is by, first of all, by preparing. So just to say that everything is always good, and don't unnecessarily present the animations. Because there is a fancy for everything. There is an animation is always there. Never ever use these animations unnecessarily. And please remember, limit animation. Use the same animation throughout the entire talk. You always do it. And please remember it. Do not use the media to hide you. See, because there are lots of people, they hide from the front. They don't want to show their face. They show their back. Never ever do it, please. And moreover, I think there are some people have got a stage fear. I do agree with that. And that can be always, it is a very, very easy for you to come out of the stage fear, provided you practice, you talk to it, you try up on it, you will be all right. It is not a disease. We can always condition them by so many methods and methodologies. Because I'm a student of psychology, I can always tell you that is not at all an issue. And please remember it here, if you are going to read from the slides, then just send them, then send them the slides. You want to read what the slide has. Instead of reading the slides, why can't you give them the slides? That is always there. So just to summarize my expression, 3 points you make it. A presentation is one where you have to plan it, you should know your audience, you should be appreciable, use the body languages wherever necessary, communications should be harnessed, hone the skill of good communication, use the right word at the right time, at the right judgment. And number 5, always involve the audience by your body language. Eye contacts, voice modulation are very, very important elements in case of presentation. When it's coming into the question of the one, please remember it, a presenter should be one who should be looked upon, not to be rejected by his good manners, but not his mannerisms. And when coming to the PowerPoint, please remember it, use the font size as I told you. Number 2, use the colors which is good, which is necessary. Avoid certain colors, I already told you. Number 4, use graphs. Never crowd the sentence one with lot. Use bullet points. Use the bullet points only the keywords, not the entire sentences. Make the time always important. Respect the time. Time management is the best management. I could able to get a small video. If it is workable, I think Kaveri could help me out. You can always show that video. And with that video, I am open for your question and answer. Thank you very much for patience listening, waiting for your questions. Okay? Okay, Kaveri? Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
yes, sir. One second, sir.
Yes, please.
One second, everybody. I'll play the video. Just hold on few minutes.
Any technical snack? Hello, Kaveri. Hello.
Yes, sir. I'm
Uh,
trying, sir, to
we are trying.
download
Don't
that.
worry. I can understand it. Meanwhile, shall we get into the question answer session?
Yes,
You
yes,
can
yes.
download. That
Yes.
will be ideal, no? Because
Anybody,
the
any
otherwise,
participant, you can
yeah.
ask the questions to
Ask
sir.
me the question. So that meanwhile she'll be preparing. I don't want that your concentration should be diluted. The reason being behind is that.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir,
ma'am.
for your informative
Yes,
and
Elizabeth.
enlightening lecture. Dear
Yeah,
participants,
please.
chat box is open for all. I request
Yeah.
to drop the questions in the chat box if any, so that our resource person will answer for your questions.
Yeah. So a beautiful question has been asked: how to overcome the stage fear? See, please remember it. The stage fear is a phenomenon in two ways. One is the psychological fear. The second is the physiological fear, the cognitive fear. The psychological fear always comes mainly because of the want of exposures. Did you get me the point? That is the reason why this can be definitely can be overcome in a due course of time. It is not one day's remedy. Over the days, you can always see that the stage fear is overcome. For example, there are lots of your
I have a
friends.
presentation coming up that involves
Yeah.
PowerPoint slides.
Yeah. Please
One
see the
second,
presentation. Then I will talk to you later on. You please, yeah. Please watch that video, please. Then we'll talk to you. At last you could able to get into that video into the hands. Yes. Listen very carefully.
Creating the content and design for a new presentation can be a tough task. Between outlining, designing, and finalizing the details, it's not uncommon for a few questions to pop up. Where's the best place to start? Are some steps better to take before others? How can you make sure you aren't missing anything? And how on earth do you master those essential design tricks that can take a presentation from good to great? We're here to make the process a little easier for you. With the following tips, you'll be able to navigate PowerPoint like a pro. The first step is outlining your content. First, decide on a working title and the main takeaways. A working title is more specific than a topic. Think, how the right nutrition can strengthen your kids' bones instead of raising healthy kids. Once you've got your working title, make a list of the main takeaways of your presentation to begin giving it some structure. While you outline, it's important to keep your specific audience in mind. Ask yourself, what do your audience members already know? What new information can you teach them? What are they expecting from your presentation? What's going to be interesting to them? What will keep them focused and engaged? Next, formulate your content as a narrative if possible. This may not apply for more formal presentations that have rigid structures, like performance reports, but for presentations that have more flexibility, presenting your content as a narrative can be much more compelling. Stories appeal to people's emotional side in ways that information, facts, and figures can't. They help you relate to your audience, and in turn, they'll make you and your message far more interesting for your audience. Next, collect relevant data and examples to boost your content's credibility. While big statements can help you set the stage, supporting those statements with evidence will make your argument more interesting and credible. But don't just slap random stats on your slide and expect to wow your audience. Be sure your data comes from a reputable source and that you're presenting it in a way that's easy to understand, like through accurate charts and graphs. Now, it's time to focus on outlining your PowerPoint design. Pick a color scheme. Whether you decide to use 2, 3, or 4 different colors in your presentation is up to you. But certain color combinations go together better than others. Pick colors that support the tone of your content, solve for legibility, and don't distract from what you have to say. Next, design your slide backgrounds. In PowerPoint, less is more. You don't ever want to let the design distract from your message. But at the same time, you want to get more creative than a plain white background, even if you're going for a very simple design. PowerPoint has pre-designed templates available that you can use as a starting point. To browse these templates on a Mac, click on the slide or slides you want to add the template to. Then click the Design tab at the top of the screen. To browse these templates on a PC, click on the slide or slides you want to add the template to. Then click the Design tab at the top of the screen. In the background group, click the arrow next to the background styles to open up the theme gallery. You can use one of these pre-made templates as a base to customize and add your own creative spin. Next, it's time to format your content for maximum impact. The most basic design work is done, and it's time to start filling in the information on your slides based on the text outline you created earlier. First, create a skeleton of how your slides will flow by adding a title slide, all your header slides, and maybe a few supporting slides in between. These slides shouldn't be complex, just titles and headers, a few tidbits of information, some details you want to remember down the road, and only the 1 or 2 images you're positive you want to use. You'll add more slides and fill in the rest of the information and images later, I promise. You should start with a strong opening. Whether you like it or not, your audience is going to make value judgments about you, your organization, and your message within the first minute of your presentation. Want to ensure you start your presentation with a bang? The folks at the London Speaking Bureau suggest beginning with a dramatic, sharp opening, like a challenging question or poll. For example, you might say, "Everybody close your eyes. Now raise your hand if you've ever been rude to someone." You might also use a powerful statistic or a personal story that your specific audience can relate to. However you choose to begin, be sure it engages your audience immediately, both intellectually and emotionally. Now fill in the text on your slides using concise language. Your slides are there to support the speaking components of your presentation, not replace it. If your slides contain too much information, like full sentences or paragraphs, then your audience members won't be able to help but read the slides instead of listening to you. Plus, that's boring. Instead, use slides to enhance keywords and show visuals while you stand up there and do the real work, telling a story and describing your data. When it comes to your slide text, focus on the main phrases of a bullet point and cover the details verbally. Finally, you should end with a strong take-home message. A lot of people get lazy with the end of their presentations, but you want to end with a bang, just like you started with one. Leave your audience with something they'll remember, something that'll make them think, and maybe even mobilize.
So thank you. I think all of you viewed it. And come back to the question about the stage fear. Shall I continue? Hello? Shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So coming into the stage fear, it is being divided into two. One is the cognitive fear. The other is what you call as the biological fear. The cognitive fear, that is cognitive in the psychology, that is to say that anything concerned to your feelings. Because when your preparation is not right, so naturally you feel rather more afraid of, and you will have a stage fear. But you are well prepared, you can't able to talk, mainly because this is what the fear we call by name is in psychology, we call by name is a phobia. This fear can be always overcome by repeated exposures. I give a small example. So what you call as when you talk about this type of fear, when we talk about it, we always tell them, see, there are lots, some people are afraid of elevators. Have you seen that? Because they feel there's something wrong with it. So we can always, by the gradual exposure, definitely the stage fear can be always overcome. And I'm sure that kindly in future, please participate in all events where you have to talk. Just like a beautiful lady sang a song, somebody gave the introduction, somebody gave so many things. All of them have done it. When all of them have done that, do it in an incremental way. I am sure you will come out of the stage fear. Will you please follow that, please? Will you please follow that, please? Hello?
Yes, sir, sure.
Hello? Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Anything else? Any more questions? Okay. So I would love to conclude my talk thanking the organizer. Yes, please. Elizabeth?
Yes, sir. We have a question in the chat box.
So what is the question? What is the question like?
Slide should be in the presentation, sir. Maximum and minimum.
Come back again. Again, please repeat again question, please. Maximum and minimum.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is?
Particularly, how many slides should be in a presentation, sir?
It is depends upon the topic. Say, for example, overcrowding slides will always make a person to be more what you call fatigued, you know. So for my opinion, if anything which is within about 7 to 10 slides are always ideal, because a good speaker, a person with a lot of idea in the mind, he can able to deliver by his knowledge. I told you again, a slide is one, a PowerPoint is one, which is only a tool to know certain key points and to have a streamline of thoughts. Otherwise, he may just go up and down. So it will become more a problem. One. Number two, it is an indicator of time. Because you may say that, for example, a concept selling, for example, in the case of pharmaceutical selling or in some of the scientific discussions are concerned, the time is not a constraint. Even there, if you go on doing it, when you close all the doors, when you go on doing the PowerPoint, a beautiful atmosphere of darkness, your mental fatigue, 70% of the people will doze. They will sleep, I tell you. Honestly, I tell you, I also slept. So what I want to say that have the minimum of 7 to 10. Don't even in our classrooms, I tell you. Somehow or the other, I used to tell Miss Kaveri when she was my colleague in the Anand Sagar College of Management, I used to tell her, I am the person who don't like PowerPoints. And even now today, when I take the classes, I would love to do away with the slides than having the slides and talking to them. It is an excuse for them not to study. Please, sorry, I am not insulting anybody. Many a times in the PowerPoint is an excuse to see that they don't want to go through the things, especially in the case of the virtual world, when things are changing in a different pattern altogether. By the by, I'll be talking to the Rajiv Gandhi University very shortly about the approaches required in the case of virtual education. I think by Monday, but Tuesday or Wednesday it is dated. So I will just send it to Kaveri. If anybody is wanted to listen, you can always listen to it. So please remember, 7 to 10 is enough, Miss Elizabeth. Not more than 7 to 10. That's my opinion.
Yes, okay, sir. And then we have one more question. How to know your audience if you are new to that place?
Yeah, wonderful thought. See, what we call in management, you know very well, we have to have a segmentation. We can always get the age group, qualification group, and moreover, we can always look into their socio-economic group. These three things can be considered into that and see what type of institution it is. Because I have been addressing here the mix of both the graduates, undergraduates, and professors. I should be cautious to see that undergraduates should not get bored, postgraduates should not undermine, and the professor should not just dismiss me off. So a constant blend of all these three things, amalgamation of three things is very important. By segmentation, we can know. That is the reason why, before I just take up this assignment through Ms. Kaveri, I requested, what are your audience? Unless you don't know about your texture of your audience, it is very difficult for you to frame a good presentation. Do you agree? Yes, please, do you agree? Yeah, you have to know, unless we don't know, how can we talk? We can't, then it becomes, very well, in some of the countries, especially in US, there are, I think, being a Christian institution, I also studied in Christian, evening list. Have you heard of evening lists? Madam, have you heard of evening lists, in Christianity? Hello? Madam, have you heard of evening lists?
No, sir. Can you explain?
They are the people who are the religious preachers on the streets. They go on talking something. People, they don't bother because they have been not focusing on the audience. Something or the other they're blabbering. It's another race in case of Christianity. I had a pleasure to get into the Vatican. Okay, so we know that because unless and until a good, because I was a student of Saint Philomenus, right? When our father was just teaching something about the philosophy of certain religion, unless and until the father is not focused, the hell you care. That is the reason why, my dear friends, you have to know about your audience well and texture of it and their limitation. So I can't have the same type of presentation when I go and talk to the IITA. Correct? And moreover, it's a very, very simple way. That is the reason why, friends, even when you go to the college, school, we have been taking the first year or second year MBA, you can't go to the style of your PhD level, can you? What is the purpose of your presentation? Purpose of presentation is to reach them. It is not how much you know, how much are you important. That is the reason why, in management, very well, to being a professor of management, what I get from you is important. It is not what you have. What I get from you is important. So please always focus on that aspects are concerned. That is my humble opinion.
Okay, sir. And then we have from Pooja S. how to be
Yeah.
confident and to keep eye-to-eye contact while explaining about a topic throughout the session, sir.
It is very, very easy, ma'am. Very, very easy. I am not saying you have to only look at all the eyes. You see, if you move from place to place, from stage to stage, you are just like a moving fan, oscillating fan, In the case of oscillating fan, when it oscillates, sometimes some people will get the air, middle some people, and the end. When you oscillate, when you look at the people, all the people will have the feeling that he is addressing to me. Moreover, even our brain, when you look at them, the brain will not forget the person who contacted you immediately. It takes fraction of a second. Meanwhile, you will be in that lane. That is the reason why most of these speakers, good speakers, they will never stand in a stage and talk. Especially in some colleges, some people have got their own restrictions. They just will have a box they talked at. 90% of a good speakers, including some of the religious professors, they always oscillate. They go from stage to stage, end to end. That always attracts. Anything which is moving, the eye catches. So you can always do it. It is only, definitely you try tomorrow. I am very sure you'll come with a positive result. Try on it, ma'am. Try on it. You'll be successful. Any other question, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
We have a question from Faiza Fatima.
Yeah. Welcome, Fatima.
How the presentation should be attractive and how to focus while explaining the presentation, sir.
Yeah. I told you, IDA principle. In the case of advertisement, normal advertisement, what are the 4 values you always follow, Fatima? First is arrest the attention of the customer. That is, the opening line should be always crisp, correct, and to the point. There are 3 types of opening sentences. I told you one is a question approach, a tough approach. The second is a statement approach, acceptable. And 4th is the choice question. When you ask this way, we can always open it up. And when you have been talking on that, please remember it. That is particular the customer behavior. I heard of the customer behavior. May I know Fatima is a professor in the college or you are one of the postgraduates? May I know your position in the college, ma'am, Fatima? So accordingly, I can able to tailor my discussion. The reason why I have been requesting you. Are you a professor there, ma'am? Are you a student or a professor?
You can unmute, talk, or you can leave the message in box, ma'am.
No. What I want to know that are you a professional or are you a learner? That's all I want. Yeah. So coming back again, I will get into the next regarding stammering. So please remember it here. When you have been looking into these aspects are concerned, please remember it.
Sir, she is a UG student.
UG, okay, thank you, Kaveri. See, because you know very well, when you have been talking to you, Fatima, first of all, you frame certain things in such a way that could be always attractive. For example, if man bites a dog, what do you feel? If a dog bites a man, it's normal, correct? But if you bite a dog, what is it? It's a sensation. So there are certain ways of using it. You can always arrest the attention of the people. It is there in your, when you have been eating food, you remember it in case of the chaste, the Islamic religion. You say, Irrahman, Illullah, Irrahman, Irrahim, you say. Why do you say that? Because you are arresting the people who have been having their food. On the name of Allah, I have been taking my food, I just cherish it. That arrest, that attracts all the people to concentrate on the food. In that way, whenever you have been opening up a sentence or concern, you should be very much conscious to pick up a short sentence. And the development you can always do it depends upon your knowledge and your power of expression, for which it is a continuous practice. Practice, and practice. Make 1 or 2 or 3 one, and you talk in front of it. You rehearse in front of the mirror. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Are you convinced? You said okay because of the formalities. Did you convince Fatima? Did I convince you? Could you able to understand me what I said?
Sir, myself Elizabeth and Fatima is not talking.
Okay, sorry. Who is it? Okay, it doesn't matter. Right. Tell me, ma'am.
Yes. Then question from Navanita Krishnan. Maximum work on bulletin points.
Yeah, maximum I am of the opinion about not more than 5, not exceeding 7.
Okay,
That
sir,
is the
I'll-
what. 5 is ideal, ma'am. Not even 7. Somehow I beg to differ. Even when in the postgraduate level we talk about the Greconus principle of the management, because 5 a manager cannot able to have more than 7 people as per the Greconus principle of management. In the same way, if you have 7, it will be so crowded. Even you will be confused what you have to talk. So if it is limited, you divide it to what is there. Nothing wrong, When I talked about 10 slides, it is not fixed. If at all you want to break it into 2, break it into 2. Or add 1 bullet, add up this information, the following information in your explanation. That is enough, Why do you want crowding it? Crowding is not at all good. People, sometimes some slides are so bad. That's why there are so many people fail in their presentation, because they put all information in the slide. It becomes very difficult. Even man cannot able to read it. It happens even in the case of medical sciences. Because I am a student of the pharmaceutical industry, it becomes very difficult for you to read. Which to read, what to read, how to read. Because you have to listen, you have to read. It's not possible. That is the reason why the people just dismiss it off. Please limit 5 and have the points in you. Have a good point, and interconnecting the points is always interesting and always useful and easy for you. From communication, we can always get into the other way of talking, about salesmanship. In that way, you can always interconnect. Yes, please.
Our next question from Ajay Kshatriya. Can you ask how to grab audience attention while presenting, sir?
See, that is why you should always, 3 things. One is we can always give a pause and ask their opinion. Are you with me? Could you follow it? Did I reach you? Any issues? Why can't you give a pause and talk to them? That always wake up them. Any doubts? Any problem? Are you with me? I am in time with you. Should I explain again? You can always ask them. So they will be always attentive. Ask feedback mechanism. Feedback mechanism by interrogation. Could you follow? Are you with me? Am I right? Do you agree with me? All those. If you say, do you agree with me, or are you right? He is involved in the participation. Even in the case of the virtual world, when you have been talking to the classes by the virtual mode, which we have been doing it online, we always ask them those questions, Did you understand me? Some people say, will you please explain to me? Because there are a lot of students of me, both from the management, and I'm glad to tell you, even I have been talking some of the psychology, pathology, sociology, etc. for the physiotherapy and nursing. And when I ask them, there are some people who genuinely ask the questions. No, sir, will you please explain me again? You spend time because the feedback. That makes the student 2 things. That always develops respect towards you. Number 2, that always shows your competency on the subject. See, the competency comes by learning. The learning by preparation. Preparation by the hard work. See, I have interconnected all the 4 units in 1 bullet. We can always do it, Can we? Can we or not? Hello? Hello? Yes, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
You are audible. So that is the reason why even just come to come into the what you call as the Hindu philosophy. Just to say that there are lots of verses are there connecting one to the one. Then what is knowledge? The knowledge we get from what? Knowledge from learning. Knowledge leads to where? Wisdom. Wisdom, where it gets into the salvation. So 1 to 1, if you get knowledge, from there you went to the salvation. Why do you want to put 4 bullets? Knowledge, salvation, wisdom, etc. So please remember it, to abbreviate, epitomize as much as possible, understand the concept of everything what you have been presenting it, then you explain. Job is very simple and easy. Yes, please. Anything
And
else?
this person is asking one more question, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Share some tips to develop our confidence level while presenting of any other critical situation.
Yeah.
Some
Come back
tips to
again. We'll reread the question, please.
Some tips to develop our confidence level while presenting or any other critical situation.
Yes, fantastic. See, there are different type of methods are there. When you want to develop the confidence, you should always ownership of a work should be always a task ownership is important. Unless you don't take the responsibility, the ownership of a task, you never get the confidence. Number two, when it's coming to the academics, when you get the confidence, I used to tell my students, if you deceive your books, books will deceive you. Right? Do you agree with me? So please remember, preparation. That's why you know very well. There was one question was asked. I don't know quote. If at all you want to cut, I think it is by from an American president. I don't remember it. Anyway, one of the American presidents was asked. He said it. When I want to cut a tree, 70% of my time I'll be spending the sharpening my tool, and 30% I'll be using to cut the tree. That is preparation, this is execution. That is the reason why. Even in our management, we always talk about the vision. The vision is a long-term plan. Unless you don't have a long-term plan, how can you attain the goal? Prepare, practice, then present. You definitely will be confident.
Yes,
Please
sir, we have.
Do you agree with me? Prepare, practice, and present. You are through. If you don't prepare, there is a proverb in Sanskrit, Yuddha Kalesha Swabhyase. Is it possible for you? When war is tomorrow, can you able to practice how to use the gun? That is a confidence, man. Confidence is not at all borrowed. Confidence is not a personality development. Of course, there is in psychology, deep psychology, let's not bother. The confidence is a condition, which is a mental makeup, attitude. Somebody has said, you want to learn, anywhere there you learn. If you don't want to learn, you will never learn. That's why you can take the horse near the water, you can't make the horse to drink the water. Could it? Do you agree? Could you, ma'am? Yeah.
Yes, okay, sir.
Thank
Go for
you.
next question.
Yes,
From
next.
Rakshita. Suppose while presenting, the speaker doesn't know the answers to questions posed by the audience. What should the speaker do and how to manage, sir?
Madam, there are two ways. The best policy is you please accept you don't know now. You just tell them, I will go, sir, I will find out, I will come back to you, and promptly go back to him. There is no avoiding. Nothing wrong, all are not what you call as everything I should know. No, not possible. Why can't you accept it gracefully? Graceful acceptance is worth. And when you go home, you study it, you read it, you write it, you just inform the person who is in need of it. That is the best way. No meaning in deflecting the question. Deflecting the question, they can see through, man. Even a small child can see through whether Papa is deceiving it or not. It is a mistaken concept. Somehow I managed. We are not managing it. He excused you. That's all. Be transparent. Be transparent. That's what even Lord Christ says, in the 17th version. Isn't it? Yes, please.
Shall we go for next question, sir?
Yes, please. Please, you are welcome.
At presenting the presentation, how to control screaming, sir? Stammering. Sorry.
Okay. Madam, to be very honest with you, is it only during presentation or basically the person has got a stammering issues? Basically, the person has got a stammering problem or is only during presentation?
At presenting the presentation, sir.
Only during presentation time, otherwise he's a normal person, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
Again, it's an expression of stage fear. Stammering, sweating, sometimes palpitation, heartbeat is more. These are all expression of stage fear. Again and again, I am requesting you, for the persons who has got a stage fear, I can able to empathize. I can always tell myself, because I have been coming with a very, very small background. I have been constantly exposed in my colleges, in my schools, so that I can able to talk to the audience. It is only by gradual exposure the phobic disorders can be done. Because in psychology, lots of phobic disorders are there. The stammering is one. That's mainly because you are afraid. Mainly because you are not very sure whether what I am talking right or not. Initially it happens, but definitely you can come over it by consistent exposure to the situation. That's why I humbly request you, if anybody asks you to talk on the college or talk on the platform, never ever say to avoid it. Expose, you are through. We normally treat the patients of phobic disorders by varieties of ways in our counseling sessions. Okay? And stammering can be definitely, we can also help them. It may be sometimes a neurological, but some of the stammers, we can definitely, by going to a good psychiatrist, we can able to see that stammer can be always avoided, even it is by birth. We can always help them out. And some people will stress, when they get the stress, they overemphasize that word. I had a professor who had a problem of stammering. Whenever he gets a stammering, he used to stress that word more, and his sound was little higher, and he was through. So the stammering should always be won by the incremental exposure of the candidate.
Okay, sir. I hope
Thank
our
you.
participants got some idea about the presentation and the
Hope-
session gave some knowledge.
So
I
sweet of
request
you.
our participants to fill the feedback.
To
Fill
fill
the
the
feedback.
yes, fill the back, and you can pass on to our my close friend Kaveri. And finally, I want to just tell. Finally, I want to sum it up, telling it: winners will continue, and losers always stop. You agree with me? Winners always continue, losers always stop. With this, I would love to make a small remark. Thank you very much for your enthusiastic questionnaires participation, and I thank the institution. I really miss your principal and vice principal, but I really thank the coordinators and the faculty who have been with me, and so many friends who have been in this webinar, who have been participant. And any questions from outside, you're always free to ask me later on. Okay, with this, may I take permission to conclude my talk?
Yes, sir.
Thank
I
you very
request
much. Yes, tell me.
that form before 6 p.m. and
Yeah.
the feedback link will not be shared in the WhatsApp group. The link
Yes,
is
ma'am.
only participants who have attended the session, and
Yes.
then the link will be shared afterwards with the vote of thanks. Thank you
Yeah.
all for your patience, dear participants. Gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. Veronica Mary of final year MCOM is here to express her gratitude by proposing.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening, everyone. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this workshop. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the Almighty God for making today's session a resounding success. First and foremost, I express my gratitude to our today's resource person, Professor R. Parmeshwaran Sir, who despite of his busy schedule had found time to share his knowledge with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you
I
very
hope
much.
I wholeheartedly thank our well-wisher, Principal Dr. Sister Prema, for her support in our absence. Thank you, Sister. My heartfelt thanks to our Vice Principal, Mrs. Malika Shetty Ma'am, IQAC Director, in her absence, and our program organizer, Mrs. Kaveri Ma'am, for organizing such a knowledgeable workshop. Thank you, Ma'am. I'm very happy to extend my sincere thanks to our PG coordinator, Mrs. Navishri Ma'am, for our great support. Thank you, Ma'am. Last but not the least, I take this opportunity to thank all the faculties, participants and coordinators. Thank you all.
Thank you, Veronica, for your delightful gratitude. Thank you all for joining the session and making it as successful. Expecting the same cooperation for upcoming workshops. Happy evening to all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.